Hello, everybody. And I'm just doing a live tonight so that it will be up by the 10 o'clock in the morning, which it'll be alive right as soon as you all wake up. We are doing this seed stitch, and this is what it looks like. Let me get rid of the autofocus because y'all aren't going to be able to see anything. I want you to know something about this seed stitch. If you look up Tunisian crochet seed stitch, you will get a whole bunch of different versions and methods. I want you to choose whoever's tutorial you find the easiest to follow. I've put 3 down below, but I also know the crochet crowd, he has one. But I've only listed 3 other channels down below because I don't want to completely confuse you guys. And I'm going to show you how the book that we're following says to do it. Get you down a little closer here. Refresh. And you just ignore the measurements we got going on because that was from the book. But this is what it looks like. And the way I understand the book, which is the book I'm talking about is this one, Tunisian Crochet, Basic and Textured Stitches, Volume 1 by Petra Tornak Zimmerman. And we're doing the seed stitch right here. And see, there's that one, and there's mine. And I think I figured it out so they look the same to me. Sometimes I wish I had some different colors of yarn. Hi, Janet Baum. So you see, I've already started working the pattern. And what you do is you reverse what you're doing every other crochet row. So the first one you start with the simple, Tunisian simple, then you do a purl, then you do a simple and a purl across. Then you do your return back, and then on the next row, you'll do you don't count this stitch. The first stitch that you actually work, you'll start with a purl. So instead of being a simple, a purl, a simple, a purl, it'll be a purl, a simple, a purl, a simple. So every other row, you have to remember where you are. And if you look at your piece, you can kind of tell which ones are simple and which ones are purl. Because the simple ones the stitch will be longer, and the purl ones have the yarn across the front of it. So each time you go back across it, you're going to be working the opposite stitch into what's there. So you can tell by looking at this one, I hope, that this next row we're going to do purl first. The row I have on here is basically the first row you start with, where you do the first one, the hook, the one that's left on the hook, they're not counting it. They count from here. And you'll do the simple, purl, simple, purl. So let's get back and we'll do the opposite so I can show you what I mean. So you do one off and then 2 at a time to get you back to the other side. And I hope you can see what I'm doing because it's nighttime and the lighting's kind of on the harsh side here. Uh-oh, and I dropped it. So I want to quickly put my hook back in those. That's something I find fun. If you drop your stitches, they don't go very far, and it's easy to put them back on the hook. All right, so I'm just doing the work off, the return row is what they call it, as a return row. And as I'm doing these, when I'm by myself, I actually say what I'm doing. just so I don't mess myself up, because that's a lot to keep going in the old brain cells. All right. So now we're going to do the crochet row. And when you look at this, you can see which ones are simple crochet, the simple Tunisian, and then the purl. So now the first one we do on this row, because we have a simple stitch here, we're going to work a purl into it. I wish I could do something to make the lighting better. Hang on just a second. Maybe it's too close or something. I don't want to create a shadow on it. This yarn is very shiny, so it makes it hard to see. All right, so I'm going to do a purl first. So a purl into the simple below. So we do purl, and then you do a simple. So you're not going to bring the yarn forward. You're just going to go through that purl stitch. The next one will be a purl. So I just push the yarn to the front. And then I wrap this around the hook and pull it through. And that way it doesn't fall off. Simple. And you're working in the front bar of the stitch. Some of the other versions, that like Mikey at Crochet Crowd, he's got some weird way of doing it. And every single one of these seed stitches look different to me. None of them look the same. So I said, I'm just going to do the one in the book and give y'all the option of going and looking at the other tutorials and decide which way you want to do it. Whoever's you find easiest. All right. So we've got a simple below. So we're going to work a purl this time, right? So purl, simple, purl, simple, purl. And then a simple. And then a purl. And then a simple. Not through two, just through one. Simple, purl. Simple. And purl. And simple. And purl. And this yarn divides real easy, so I don't know if I'm in the right spot there or not. All right, another simple. See, that's not right. Let me back up. Something's not right here. Yeah, see how that was? Let's do that again. Purl, simple, purl, simple, purl, simple, purl, simple, purl, simple, purl, simple, purl is supposed to go in this one. Okay, so we'll come down and not get that one grabbed this time. Hopefully. Pulled it too tight. Purl, there we go. And then simple into the purl, purl into the simple, simple into the purl, purl into the simple, and then simple into that purl. And then if you turn this on the side, you can see the two little loops you need to go behind. No, you got to go through just those two on the side. And then what I do is I verify I still have my stitches. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Okay. So now we're going to work these back off. So you do 1, and then you work 2 off and 2 off all the way across until you have just that one single on there. And also, if you wanted to make if you want to make a block like I've made, which is what's in this book, and then you wanted to make a block following the other 3 channels I've listed below, that would give you 4 blocks, and you'd see all different ways of doing it. One of the videos below is in UK terms, if that would be help. And then there's another lady called Crochet Kim, and I can't remember the other 2 channel names, but they're in the description down below with links. All right. So there we go. So now this row, you're going to work the opposite that you did last time. So if you flatten this out, you can look and you can tell which ones are simple because they stand out more than these. The pearls kind of set back in your work. This is a simple, this is a simple, this is a simple. You see what I'm saying? They kind of set on top. The simple stitches set up. So you know that you're going to put pearls in all of these simple stitches, and then you'll put simples into all of the pearls, and you're working the front post, which is just the one at the front of the stitch, because if you look at the stitches, there's two stitches come down because it's a loop, right? So there's the front of the loop and the back of the loop. And for this stitch in this book, you're working in this front loop. Now there are the other versions will blow your mind. That's why I was like, trying to decide, do I do a tutorial or do I just put up these and we all just try them? But instead I said, I'm going to do the tutorial and give them the option of following somebody else if they want to. All right, so this time we're not going to start with purl. We're going to start with simple. So we just put that through here like so. Now the next one will be a purl because it was a simple before. And then simple into the purl into the simple. So whatever you've got there, you're going to work the opposite into it. And once you have done this a while and have been doing these stitches, it's real easy to see which is which. But if you can't do that, if you can't really see where the stitches are, you can always get you a little piece of paper and write out what you're supposed to do each row. And I guess that's how the charts come in handy if you understand the charts. I'm not real big on charts, but the more I do of this Tunisian crochet, the more helpful I'm finding the charts. So you might want to look at picking up a book. I know Pam said she picked up a couple books on Tunisian crochet. I didn't get my Amazon package today. They said it's delayed. So this is a purl. So I'm going to work a simple and then a purl. So does that make sense? Every other crochet row, you're going to do the opposite. This needs to be a purl. And you'll see what I mean when you start working on yours as to what I'm saying about how you can see what's there, because this is a simple. See how it lays up on the fabric? So I know I'm going to work a purl in it. It took me a while to be able to identify them. This is a purl, so I'm going to stick a simple in it. And then a purl. And then we do the end stitch. Uh-oh, got too close. There we go. And you know if you've drawn it up too tight because you won't be able to get your hook in there. And I always verify my count. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Well, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So that's the seed stitch. Hi, Riri. Hi, Pam. Yeah, I have to tell myself simple pearl, simple pearl. Now, on some of the videos, they use different terms. So I'm using the terms that are in this book. Oh, this would be a pretty hat. This would be a real pretty hat. But you see how it just makes these like little shapes? I think it looks really cool. So that's the Tunisian seed stitch. And I'll have to practice the next ones because they have an A and a B, which is probably a change color on the left for one and change color on the right for the other. See, so we can do these for next Friday, not tomorrow, but next Friday. So I might work, because y'all did that last time when we had a color change. Everybody kind of jumped ahead and did both accidentally. So that was fine. But I'll work up 2 blocks, and then I'll see what I can find as far as tutorials again. And again, if you use one of the other methods, you'll just have to see if they've got how to change colors on theirs. I think one of the ladies does show how to change colors. All right, guys. So I hope that made sense and that y'all are still enjoying it. We are getting quite the collection. So let me share all the blocks we've done so far. And I still like the concept of making myself just kind of a mix jacket. You know what I'm saying? Like put the blocks together like that and make a sweater. So let's go back up to the beginning of our book because we are on episode 8. So let's see. This was Tunisian simple. This was Tunisian tweed. And this was the pearl. And it's hard for me to tell which is the right side. I think that's the Tunisian pearl stripe. And then this was our pinstripes. And then we did colored pinstripes. And so I've got that one and this one. Because I had made this one up. We did a tutorial on that one. I did a tutorial on this one, I think. And I've got some different sizes of blocks going, but I'm okay with that. Because, you know, you might need some smaller blocks on the sweater in different areas like neckline and stuff. So I'm just going to roll with it. So I'm having a blast learning these stitches still. And I'm trying to make all the blocks the same size, but yeah. And they're pretty when they're all stacked together like that. All right, guys. So grab your hooks and your yarn and give the Tunisian seed stitch a go. And I will see y'all later on. Yeah, they could be pot holders. I was thinking of making them with cotton because then they'd be dense enough that you wouldn't get burned. I would never use acrylic yarn, but I've got a tub of cotton. So again, it's a pretty stitch. My lighting's just a little crazy. So have a wonderful evening, and I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching. Good night.